Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to our channel. This is the Happily Ever After 4. Today, or this week rather, we are on the Fantasy, the Disney Fantasy here, taking a 7-day cruise in the Western Caribbean. It has been fantastic. Right now though, I wanted to take a minute and give you a little tour of the Fantasy. It's a little bit different than some of their other ships. It right now is one of their biggest ships. The Magic and the Wonder are the smaller ships. The Fantasy and the Dream are the largest ships, and the Wish and the Treasure and I believe the Adventure are all like a mid-size, somewhere in the middle, a little bit smaller than the Dream and the Fantasy. But this is the Fantasy, and let's take a look at it. So when you come on board, this is deck 3, and if you turn to the left, there's just a lot of open area. Here is where they do a lot of the photo ops. They put backdrops up and stuff in the evenings. And this is the Atrium. Right now it's Halloween on the high seas, so we have our Halloween tree, which is not there year round, but super cool to look at. As you come in here, you see the statue of Minnie. This is Minnie's ship. Each ship has a different statue right there, but this Atrium is quite large. Lots of things here on deck 3. When they have to move deck parties inside, they bring them to this area right here in the middle of the Atrium on deck 3. Those doors that you see right there, those are the ones that we came in from that were behind me when we started. And if you were to turn right from those doors, you would see over here, just off to the right, is guest services. And guest services is open 24/7. There's always somebody there to help you out with whatever you may need. They're very, very helpful. Might as well work our way this way. Something cool about the Fantasy is they have these tile mosaics right here. So right here is this one, right? And then just on the opposite side of the Atrium, in this exact spot, they have another one in a different castle. Both are very beautiful. If we continue down this hallway, again, we're on deck 3. Then we are going to pass the stores. Stores which are closed right now because right now we are docked in port. So they will open up tonight, and they're also open pretty much all day on sea days. So as you come in here, here's another little mini hub area. So like I said, you've got hallways that lead you back to deck 3 that way, and then also entrances into multiple stores. Sea treasures, diamonds and wishes. Very cool statue of Walt. It's not a statue, oh my goodness. It's a mural, tile mural. And then Mickey's mainsail. Much bigger stores than on the other ships, but this would be, I guess, aft. No, it's forward. I can't remember. But this is as you extend on the ship forward. We're going forward. So if we're going to continue this way, we come to the Walt Disney Theater. Now during show times, this area is open. It's called Preludes. This is where you can get your beverages. They have alcoholic beverages and sodas and waters and sports drinks. And they also have popcorn and candy and stuff like that for the show. And this is where they have their main shows, their Broadway productions, live entertainment. Here on the Fantasy, they have 3 of those shows, and then the other 2 nights that they have something, it's different type of entertainers. This time it was a ventriloquist and a juggler. Sometimes they have comedians or just other acts of entertainment. Now from here, there are 2 entrances to the Walt Disney Theater, as well as 2 different preludes. So you can come this way. This is like a cross section here. Now this is forward. I was mistaken. I get it slightly mixed up, but this is the forward stairwell and elevators. This goes up the entire, all the decks of everything. And if you come across to this other side here, you're again going to see your second preludes and your other entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. Now this is the entrance to the bottom level of the Walt Disney Theaters. They do have a mezzanine level, which is accessible from the deck above us. And again, this is the Walt Disney Theater, so this is where they do the live productions. And just like the other side, we walk this way towards Midship again, then you're going to get into this main hub of all of the stores. And then you can also continue this way back towards the Atrium. So this right here is the Bon Voyage bar. It's obviously closed right now, but they're filling up ice trays. But you can get cocktails and drinks there. It's one of the bar locations. This is the other side of the atrium. Lots of places to sit and relax. And again, a lot of these areas, they have backdrops set up in the evenings for picture opportunities. Now, right here, if we go left, we come to the far end of the atrium, which houses one of the restaurants. This is the Royal Court restaurant. It's very beautiful in there. There's mosaics in there of different princesses. This is one of the main dining restaurants that are part of the rotation in the evenings. You can also have sit-down table service for breakfast and lunch in here every day. But this is deck 3. This is where Royal Court is. French cuisine, I believe. To make note of in this atrium is one, how big it is. It's much bigger than the Wonder and the Magic. And look at that chandelier. Isn't that beautiful? I know the lights don't always turn out so good on this camera, but it's got like peacock theme, which you can see translated as well on the carpet here in the atrium. Very, very beautiful. And then this beautiful winding staircase as well. So, now this is what you see when you exit Royal Court. Just this, another view of the main atrium. They also have live entertainment here in the evenings on the piano, and they have other instruments and stuff like that here, other performers. It's very cool. Now when you exit it, you can either take this stairwell underneath the one that you saw, or there's also stairs and elevators as well. But this right here will take you down to deck 2. Now, mostly deck 2 is staterooms. However, there is some really cool pictures. Also, this is your second main theater or main restaurant dining for the evening. It's called Enchanted Garden. As you can see from this decor, it looks like you're in a garden. There's lots of lattice work, ironwork that looks like leaves and plants and stuff. It's pretty cool in there. You can check out our other blogs to be able to see the inside of it. Because it's closed right now, we cannot go in it. But this is very cool, and this is on deck 2. This is the only main thing of note on deck 2. Like I said, everything else here, there's a handful of staterooms on deck 2. Now as we're leaving the atrium on deck 3, we go on the port side. We come here. This is the Mile of Tile, as some people like to call it. Here we come to the back of the ship. This is your third and final dining restaurant here on the Fantasy Animator's palette, and this takes up the entire back portion of the ship. From there we go up a deck to deck 4. Now here is where you have the majority of your adult entertainment in your bars. There's a number of them. You can see all the different names on the walls here. They all have different theming and different menus. So let's take a look at some of them. If you go this way, which is your port side, you have Skyline Lounge. Really cool thing about this is these windows are really screens, and they show different skylines in the world. And every few minutes it changes to a different one. And if you're sitting in here and you're wearing a magic band, your magic band will pulse when it changes. Very cool. Also over here you have the tube. And they do have things going on here during the day, as it looks like there is something going on right now. But in the evening, this is where they have all of the main adult entertainment. Lots of fun things to do. But this is all like British type theme. You've got your phone booths up front, Queen's Crown. You can see over there there's the Skyline Lounge entrance, so that will take you right into the lounge that we were just in. This is one of the biggest ones here on this end of the ship.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And if you were to continue back here, there's a bunch of different restrooms, all individual restrooms tucked away right in here along this path. But this path, right across from the tube, will take you to some of the others. So here we have Ooh La La straight ahead and under this archway. It's more of a champagne bar. Straight ahead is La Piazza. And again, they do have live music in here in the evenings, most evenings. Very cool decor. And then last but not least, through these doors is O'Gill's. This would be your sports bar. So if you've got to get your Monday night, Sunday night football, college football, this is going to be where it is shown. And through these doors straight ahead, they take you out right here to just about where we started, which is the Skyline Lounge, which is to the door, through the doors on the right. We're back here to the stairwell here on deck 4. So this is deck 4 aft. So here we are just coming up the stairs from deck 4 aft. That's all that you can access from right there. So if you need to go anywhere else on deck 4, you have to go up or down and then over. So here we are on deck 5. Now on deck 5 aft, this is all staterooms. However, let's go up here. Port side. Little hint, see those stars? They point towards the front of the ship. So if you're ever confused of where you're at, follow the stars. So here as we continue, this is going to be the Oceaneers lab. Hello. Which is very cool. We went through the open house on the first day and the kids have been spending time in it every day. Now there's the Oceaneers lab and an Oceaneers club, which the entrance to that will be up here on the right. Now the two are connected. So if you send your kid to one, they can go throughout both of them while they're in there. And sometimes at the end of the night, you go to pick up and one of them has tons of people and the other one doesn't. They can pull from both sides to pick up. So if it's easier to go to the club to pick up or easier for the lab, you can go to either and you're going to still picking them up at the same time. Now this right here, even though it's closed, this is the Oceaneers Club. So again, two different sections for the same age group, and it's going to be from 5 to 11, I believe. This is all deck 5. And we are just coming up, oh, this right here actually. I can't forget this. It's a Small World nursery. So this is for all those between 3 and under, I believe. Or maybe it's just over 3. I'll have to double check on that. They've changed it since we used it, but it's for the younger age group. And here we are on the Atrium again, and here we are on deck 5 of the Atrium. Doesn't that just look amazing? I love this Atrium. It's so cool. So also here on deck 5, you see the station. There was one on deck 2 as well. It's called Become a Detective. Now, there are a number of art pieces that are actually screens, and these give you a card with basically a QR code on the back, and it attaches a game to that card so that it'll tell you clues and tell you which ones to go to be able to solve mysteries. There's 3 different mysteries. We have done 2 of them. The kids have absolutely loved them. And so there's this station, like I said, and the station on deck 2 where you can pick your card up and your itinerary, so to speak, showing you the map throughout the ship of where to go and a place for you to put all your clues, and you can solve the mystery. If you continue, here on the left is your port adventures. So this is deck 5. This is where you would go to book anything, change anything, inquiries of any kind. They are very helpful. 5 on the starboard side, if you see across there, that is the entrance to Bibi Bobby Boutique. So, and it's actually, they've got like maybe 8 or 9, maybe more like 6 or 7 stations in there, but super cool opportunity to princessify and have some young girls feel super special. Abby did that this trip and she absolutely loved it. So that's deck 5, starboard. Now, since we are still here on deck 5, I will show you now. We talked about the Walt Disney Theater. Coming up here, you see where this carpet changes. That's a good clue, right? When the carpet changes, this now becomes the Buena Vista Theater. Now the Buena Vista Theater is where they show movies. So this is what is being shown today. You see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which is currently in theaters. They own them, so they can do first run movies. So this is really fun to be able to see movies you haven't seen before, ones that you love, like Encanto, or this is a Halloween cruise, so we've had Hocus Pocus and Haunted Mansion and Hocus Pocus 2 and all the fun ones. But this is Buena Vista Theater, and just like the Walt Disney Theater, this also has 2 levels. Deck 5 is the top level, and if you were to continue down the hallway this way, you're just going to run after you take a right there at that door. You're going to hit staterooms, and then the rest of deck 5 is staterooms. So we're going to go back this way, and then we're going to take the stairs down to deck 4, where you will be able to go on the main level entrance to the Buena Vista Theater and the mezzanine level entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. A little confusing keeping the 2 separate, but deck 4 can get you to both of those. Here we are, deck 4, and this is the port side again. So you have preludes here, and you have entrances into the Buena Vista Theater right here. And if you come further down here, then you can see this is the mezzanine entrance to the Walt Disney Theater right here. And again, they have them on both sides. So there's on this side. If you come this way, across the stairwell and elevators, here is the other side entrance. Now we're just going to reverse a little bit and come back here to the main atrium area. and we can move towards aft, see what the atrium area has and what else is going on here on deck 4. So as we come out of this hallway, we have our midship elevators to the left, and then this is Shutters. Shutters does have a portrait studio where you can make reservations and have portraits taken of your family. Here are these screens. You use your key to the world card to be able to view everything. Back in the old days, they would have, you know, like binders where you could see the prints. Well, here it's everything digital, and you can choose to purchase the digital copies, which is great. We have done that, and it's awesome. Now, as we're rounding towards the middle of the ship again, we come to Carriage Jewels. It's closed right now, but there is some very fancy, beautiful jewelry in there. This is also where a lot of the characters come in and out of when they do shows here in the atrium, and where they have all the meet and greets. This is a big area right here, part of the atrium here on deck 4, where a lot of characters come to meet. Now, as we move over to this other side, the starboard side here on deck 4, we have the Vista Cafe, which you can get coffee and some other treats, as you see in this container right here, display container, this case, display case. They all look quite delicious. Also here on deck 4 are some seating areas. This used to be where you could book your future cruises, and now all you do is you basically reserve a spot, and you're paying part of your down payment already, which will give you 10% off on your future cruisings that are 7-day night or 7-night sailings or longer. So also, as you pass Shutters here on deck 4, you come to, well, we're going to pass another entrance to the Carriage Jewels here. Hello. But we come to the D Lounge, which is another area where they do a lot of entertainment, a lot of things for families. This is also where a lot of port adventures, excursions meet up. But this is deck 4. If you continue to pass the D Lounge, you see I was wrong. I've been on this ship for 7 days, and I'm still trying to get it all figured out. It's just so much bigger than what we're used to. But you can, in fact, access all of the adult bars and everything from this deck from other than the aft stairwell. So down there and to your left is going to be where all of those awesome adult areas, bars and lounges are located. Interestingly enough, O'Gill's, you can also purchase food, you know, like your loaded tots and your fun yummy things. They have wings. There's a few other things on the menu too besides just the bars and stuff, or the beverages I should say. But very fun, very fun. All right, and that is decks 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up we go. Decks 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all staterooms. So we're just gonna head all the way up to deck 10. As you can see, we come up to deck 11, and this is Cabanas. A little more sophisticated than the Wonder, that's for sure. We have washing stations. These right here are the elevators, and even though it's closed, we have an entrance to the right and an entrance to the left. And Cabanas spans the entire back side of the ship. All the way around. So behind me is the majority of the back of the ship, the whole second side to Cabanas. So we're just going to go through this side, which is about only maybe a quarter of what Cabanas really is, maybe a third. They are closed right now, obviously, but here through that door where that young family is going through, that will take you onto deck, or you can come through here, which is the Sweet on You shop, which will also take you back on deck. But this is a fun store. Everything in here is for purchase, additional purchase, but it's very reminiscent to what you see in the parks. Very fun. We're here on deck 11 on the outside decks. We have a younger kid water area over here. We also have this water slide, very similar to what you find on the Wonder, and it is for younger riders only, but still very fun. Also here we have the funnel vision, and we have two pools. There's one pool over there and one on the other side of these chairs. We also have a little pool, little kiddie pool for very young swimmers with their parents. And the first of the 2 beverage stations they have out here on deck. You can get your hot drinks and all of your fountain drinks here. Up there you've got the AquaDuck, and that is the water slide that you see right there. Spans along the entirety of the ship. Very, very fun. Another mini bar area. And then here, as we go towards Midship, we have some more outdoor eating areas. So we have Luigi's Pizza. A little condiment bar. Places where you can get pizza and burgers and chicken strips and hot dogs and salads and fruit and sandwiches and all sorts of yummy things, and that is open much, much longer than Cabanas is. And as we head over through these walled areas, we come to the adult-only areas. And it is shocking to me every single time the amount of noise we're able to keep out of this area. So here we have the Cove Bar, and we have adult-only pool area. Here through these doors is the cafe. Smells delicious. You can get all of your coffee beverages. Very nice.
Oh, picture. Oh, that's so
Very nice. And these doors only open if you press this button, so they're not opening and closing all the time somebody walks by, which is nice. That is the Cove Cafe, not to be confused with the Cove Bar, which is what we saw over there. We've got showers to your right, hot tub to your left, very quiet and relaxing area. Sans children. The other interesting thing to note is that it is also 2 levels. So here we're going to go up. The second level here is also part of the adult only area. As well as part of deck 13. Here we have your Currents bar. Hello. And some amazing places to sit. And look at that amazing view. Look at that. Look at that view. And again, this is an adult only area. This area extends all the way around the front of the ship. And this is forward. Now what you see to my left in that little teal walled off area is for concierge guests. Now we are back down to deck 12. We are about to exit the adult only area. Now again, this area spans 3 levels, 11, 12, and 13. So here, back on deck 11, this is the topmost deck for all guests. And you've got the funnel vision to my left.
It's raining cats and dogs out there. It's storming. Okay, Mom.
Now this is the AquaDuck. If you do that, then over here is where you put your shoes for that. Here's where they come out, and there's where you go up. Aqualab, which is another area for young children. Along here, you've got your Waves bar, which is right there. Closed currently, but another place to be able to get a beverage. Now this will take you up and around onto the other side of the ship, but it will also get me wet, so believe me. Here we go up, back up to deck 13 for some other recreational activity. Basketball courts. And one of Abby's favorite things so far here is miniature golf, which I'm starting on the wrong end. This is where you end, but this has been a lot of fun. In there's usually clubs. They've probably been put away because it's not open right now, but clubs and balls, and you can play through. Like I said, I'm going through this a little backwards because we're starting with Hall 9 and making our way back around the back end of the ship, but way fun. Some ping pong. And foosball. And that is the outdoor deck options. Here is one other store called Who's Its and What's Its, and it's right here in deck 11 midship, mostly just swimwear and other things. What a fun little place to check out as well.
I cannot run.